Okay, good morning, students. Today, the topic for this today's lecture is BiCMOS technology. So let us see today's topic regarding what is meant by BiCMOS technology and how the fabrication part of this BiCMOS will be done, and how the fabrication of an NPN transistor or the BJT will be done, and later how that particular NPN transistor fabrication can be used for the BiCMOS technology. So let us see this topic. So first of all, BiCMOS. What is meant by BiCMOS? BiCMOS means it is a bipolar compatible CMOS technology, which is nothing else but it's a collaboration, or else it's a technology which has got both CMOS and also BJT. It's a combination of two technologies, BJT and the CMOS. So it is introduced in the 1980s, which combines of bipolar transistor and also CMOS logic technology. So now here BiCMOS means it is a combination of CMOS, and also it is a combination of bipolar. So let us see what kind of advantages are being taken from the CMOS and what are the advantages which are being taken from bipolar in order to come up with this bipolar compatible CMOS technology, that is nothing else but BiCMOS technology. From the CMOS technology, the important advantages are like low power dissipation, high packaging density, high noise margins, and high input impedance. These are the major advantages in the CMOS technology, and this is the advantages of CMOS technologies are being collaborated with the bipolar technology. That is nothing else but in bipolar technology we'll be having high speed. It's mainly meant for the high speed, for a high output drive, and also high transconductance. And these are the main important factors why they have gone for the BiCMOS technology. And now here, coming to what is meant by transconductance. Here, transconductance means it is infrequently it is used as a mutual conductance. It is nothing else but it's a mutual conductance, which means that it is a kind of electrical characteristics which is relating to the current through the output of a device. It means that the output of a device will be producing the current output whenever the input of the particular device is being fed with an voltage input. So if you feed voltage as an input, then that particular device, if it produces output as an output, we call this kind of devices as a transconductance amplifiers. It will be amplifying a signal which is in the voltage input, which is as a input voltage, and producing an amplified output current signal. So that is called as a transconductance amplifier or transconductance property of any kind of device. So now we know that conductance is nothing else but it's a reciprocal of resistance. So now that's why in order to go ahead with more flexible more flexible characteristics, and in order to get the more gain and all those kind of characteristics, they have gone for the transconductance characteristics of a bipolar technology, and they have collaborated with the CMOS technology now to come up with the BiCMOS technology. BiCMOS technology. Here, the main objective of the BiCMOS technology is to combine bipolar and the CMOS so as to exploit, the advantages of both the technologies. Today, the BiCMOS has come up with one of the dominant technologies which is used for high speed, low power, and highly functional VLSI circuit. It means that here in the BiCMOS technology, the entire input circuit or the input model of the circuit will be of CMOS technology, will be made up of CMOS technology, whereas the output driving part of the circuit will be designed with the help of the bipolar technology. Why? The main reason why they designed the output part with the bipolar technologies is that in the CMOS technology, the CMOS technology mainly lacks with low driving capabilities. It cannot drive more large capacity loads. That's the reason why they have gone for the BiCMOS technology, where the bipolar transistors are very good at driving the large capacity loads. So they have collaborated, or they have combined the CMOS technology with the BiCMOS technology in order to get this advantage of driving the output loads, large output loads. The process step required for both CMOS and bipolar are almost similar. It means that the fabrication steps are almost similar. The primary approach to realize a high performance BiCMOS device is the addition of bipolar process steps to the baseline of the CMOS process. It means that first we'll try to design the NPN transistor, that's a bipolar transistor, and then we'll try to use that one with the fabrication process of the CMOS technology. So that's how the process of the fabrication for this BiCMOS technology goes on. Next one. Here, the BiCMOS gates could be used as an effective way of speeding up the VLSI circuits. Definitely, if it is having a great driving capability, if it can easily drive the large capacity loads at the output, the speed of the circuits also will increase. That's why it is used effectively for the speeding of VLSI circuit or for high speed operations. The advantage of the bipolar and CMOS circuits can be retained in BiCMOS technology. So both the advantages, the advantage of bipolar and also the advantage of CMOS will be retained by this BiCMOS chips. The BiCMOS circuit is much faster for large fan out. So first of all, what is meant by fan in and fan out here? Fan in means we are talking in simple regarding the number of inputs, the signals that can be fed into the circuit. The number of input signals you can feed into the circuit, and fan out is regarding the number of outputs that one particular device can produce, and it can use as an input to the other devices. That is called as a fan out. It's regarding how the output of one particular module can be used for many different modules as an input. That is regarding the fan out. So the BiCMOS circuit is much faster for large fan out due to its small sensitivity to the capacitive loading. It means that it can easily drive the capacitive loading, so it's the sensitivity to the capacitive loading is very less. So it can easily drive it fastly, and the speed of this particular BiCMOS circuits will be very fast. The BiCMOS technology enables high performance integrated circuits, that is ICs, but increases also the complexity. Here, the fabrication process of this BiCMOS is much complex compared to the CMOS fabrication, because it's a combination of two different technologies. The fabrication of this BiCMOS technology is a combination of two different technologies, where in the CMOS we have seen that we'll be creating one tub, we'll be creating one well, and we'll be producing both PMOS and NMOS in one particular fabrication. But whereas in the BiCMOS, we are supposed to create three wells, so that each one will be used for different operation. Like one well will be used for PMOS, one of the well will be used for NMOS, and the other well will be used for designing the NPN transistor. So it is a triple well fabrication technique. We can call the BiCMOS fabrication technique as a triple well fabrication technique or the process. Next, if you see the application of the BiCMOS, the applications of BiCMOS are very vast. It can be used, like examples, it can be used for sample and hold applications in order to provide the high impedance inputs, which provides a high impedance input, and also it can be used for in adders, mixers, analog to digital conversions, or else digital to analog conversion, ADC and DAC operations. It can be used. It can be also used in a mixed signal integrated circuits. Where when you talk about mixed signal integrated circuits, you might have heard up to now like digital integrated circuits and analog integrated circuits. When you talk about mixed signals integrated circuits, it's regarding both the digital and also analog will be used in one particular module, and that kind of operations we call it some mixed signal circuits. And the integrated circuits which have been designed with the mixed signal operations are called as an mixed signal integrated circuits, where in this mixed signal integrated circuits, the CMOS circuits are used for the data storage and for the low power operations for high density logic circuits. This is a main operation of the CMOS. In the mixed signal integrated circuits, CMOS will be used for low power, for the data storage, and also for the high density logic circuits. The main reason why it is used for high density is that we know that the scaling property of the CMOS is very much flexible, and we can accumulate large number of integrated circuits with a smaller size on a single chip. So that's why we can, the denser nature of the CMOS can also be used. It will also helpful in a mixed signal integrated circuit. And coming to the bipolar transistors are used for high current drivers. It drives the high outputs. That's the main use for importance of a bipolar transistor in its BiCMOS technology. The BiCMOS circuits are found mostly in applications of ASICs. It's an application integrated circuits. It's an application specific integrated circuits. If you want to do any kind of one specific operation, for that particular specific operation, we can even design the integrated circuits, and those kind of integrated circuits are called as an application specific integrated circuits. And also it can be used for very high speed SRAMs, that's a static random access memories. So these are the different applications of BiCMOS where this BiCMOS can be used. And next one, regarding if you still put some spotlight upon this BiCMOS, we know that here the known deficiency of MOS technology is limited to the loading driving capability. That's what just now I have told. The most disadvantage of the MOS technologies, it cannot drive larger capabilities. Because why it cannot drive the larger why it cannot drive larger capacitance or the larger outputs, because of limited current sourcing and current sinking capabilities of PMOS and the NMOS transistors. This is the main reason why the CMOS technology cannot drive larger capacitances or output capacitances or load capacitance or load driving capabilities it will not be having. And coming to the bipolar transistors, the bipolar transistors has got higher gain. It's mainly because why does it has got a higher gain? It is very much related with the transconductance, because it has got the higher transconductance. It is related to that transconductance properties. Then it has got better noise characteristics, because it has got a low noise characteristics, and even better high frequency characteristics. These are the main advantages of the bipolar transistors, as you might have studied this regarding the bipolar transistors exclusively in the electronics and devices course, EDC course. Then bipolar gates can be an efficient way of speeding up the VLSI circuit. Just now we have seen the bipolar can also be used for the speeding of the VLSI circuits. Coming to this point, the CMOS fabrication can be extended for BiCMOS fabrication by adding the BJT fabrication. If you can mix the BJT fabrication with the CMOS fabrication, then we can come up with the BiCMOS fabrication. And the examples of different kind of logics here, like CMOS, it can be used for the logic operations. BiCMOS can be used for input and output, and also for the driver circuits. This is for the emitter coupled logic. This is another kind of logics we'll be studying as the course goes on. In the emitter coupled logics, like it can be used for critical high speed parts of the circuit. So these are the major applications and importance and advantages of BiCMOS, and also disadvantages of the CMOS technology. Now, let us see regarding characteristics of the bipolar technology. The main characteristics of bipolar technology is that it has got very high switching speed. The switching speed is very fast. It means that switching speed, when you talk about the switching speed, we are talking about how fastly a signal can move from one point to another point of the model. If I want to tell it very shortly and very simple, it's regarding how fastly a signal can move from input part of the module to the output part of the model. If it can easily move from input to output part, then we can easily and very fastly we say that the particular design is high speed design. So that's regarding per unit area, it can easily drive the current drive. It has got high current driving capability and higher gain. Generally, the better noise performance and better high frequency characteristics. And because of these reasons, because of this top three reasons, it can be used for the input and output circuits, and gradually the speed of that particular circuits also been increased. And the main reason, okay, now coming to this, these are like the importance of the advantages of bipolar technology. And coming to this one, it has got the high power dissipation. Because of this high power dissipation only, the research has been moved from bipolar technology to CMOS technology. The main advantage of CMOS technology is that it has got low power consumption and low power dissipation. That's the reason. Because of that reason, if you're having any module, the entire input module will be made up with or will be designed with the CMOS technology. Only the output part, where you can use the NPN transistors, that output driving capability itself that one will be made up with the bipolar technology. If you can, if you are using more number of bipolar devices, then definitely the power consumption and power dissipation will increase. That's why the only the input module will be designed with the CMOS technology, and the output module will be designed with the bipolar technology. This is a major disadvantage of the bipolar technology. Then coming to the lower input impedance, this is the other one, and low packaging density. And even we cannot accumulate, or we cannot make an arrangement for packing of a large number of NPN or PNP transistors into one single integrated circuit, just as we can make it with the CMOS technology. And that's also one of the disadvantage of the bipolar technology. And coming to this one, low delay sensitive to the load. This is the other one disadvantage of the bipolar technology. So these are the characteristics. Now let us see in specifically regarding advantages and disadvantages of bipolar technology. So coming to the advantages, it has got high transconductance, very high speed in form of emitter coupled logic. In form of the emitter coupled logic, that's a ECL, and it has got high current driving capability, can charge large capacitive loads rapidly. Large capacitive loads, if you're talking about large capacitive load charging, means what? If a large amount of capacitances have been formed even at the outputs, it can easily charge up that one and it can produce the output. Whenever a capacitance is fully charged, we say that our output is obtained. So that's the reason why it has been written. It has got high current driving capability, and that means it can charge large capacitive loads very rapidly. Means it can easily obtain the output very rapidly. Then coming to the disadvantages of bipolar transistors, it has got high static power consumption, low packaging densities, and more complex fabrication process. The fabrication of the bipolar technology is very complex, and that's one of the major disadvantages of the bipolar transistors. Now let us see the characteristics of CMOS technology. The characteristics of CMOS technologies are like low power dissipation, as we have discussed just now. It has got the higher noise margins, high packaging densities, high yield. What is meant by yield here? If you are talking about the yield, it means that if a large amount of silicon die has been given, out of that large silicon die, how many integrated circuits you can manufacture at a time? That is talking about the yield. And that is with respect to the production of the integrated circuits. Coming to the operational part, to what extent or how efficient is our design, that's also regarding the yield. So the CMOS technology has got very high yield with the large integrated complex functions, and it has got high input impedances, and then coming to the scalable threshold voltage. This is another major advantage of the CMOS technology. We can easily scale the threshold voltage. Now coming to the what is meant by threshold voltage here. Threshold voltage is nothing else but it's a minimum amount of voltage which can be required by any of the transistors in order to turn on the transistors. In order to turn on the transistors, or in order to switch the transistors from on to off state, there should be some minimum amount of transistors so that a channel can be formed between the source and drain. If a channel is formed between the source and drain, then the signal can move from through the channel. So in order to form a channel, definitely there should be a minimum amount of voltage in order to turn on the transistors, and that minimum amount of voltage which is required to turn on the transistors, we call it as a threshold voltage. Now as the technology has been scaled down, then the threshold voltage has also been scaled down. So depending upon the technology, the threshold voltage also has become scalable factor, and it has got like high delay load sensitivity, and these are some few characteristics of the CMOS technology. Coming to this disadvantages, like it has got low output driving capability. Mainly low output driving capability means what? It cannot drive the larger capacitive loads. That's a major disadvantage of the this one. What is this CMOS technology? And the other disadvantage is that the source and drain cannot be interchangeable. Coming to this CMOS technology, we cannot easily bidirection the source and drain. That's a major disadvantage. And another one, a near ideal switching device which has got lower gain. Because of this reasons, because of this disadvantageous regions, we have gone for this incorporating of the BJT to the CMOS in order to get this disadvantages into advantageous part. So that's why they have gone for the CMOS technology. By CMOS technology, let us see now more specifically advantages and disadvantages of CMOS technology. advantages of CMOS technology, it has got very low static power dissipation, very high packaging density, flexibility of the circuit design. So these are the major advantages where you can easily incorporate, or you can the denser nature of the circuit can be increased by scaling of the circuit component sizes. So that's why it's very flexible for the circuit design. And coming to disadvantages, it has got lower transconductance than the bipolar transconductance. Because of this reason, we have gone for the we have incorporated the high transconductance of the BJT, and we have got the higher gain characteristics in the BiCMOS technology. The smaller geometric MOS devices cannot provide sufficient currents to drive high capacity loads. When you talk about the smaller geometry MOS devices, whenever the scale, the smaller transistor or smaller component is there, that particular smaller component cannot work with the larger currents. It cannot work with the higher currents. So if it cannot work with the higher currents, what happens if the circuit is not working with the higher current? Then definitely what happens, there will be a malfunctioning of that particular device. And that's one of the reasons. Also, this particular smaller geometry MOS devices cannot drive the large capacitive loads. And these are the major disadvantages of the CMOS technologies with respect, and such as like large capacitive loads. It cannot drive large capacitive loads, such as like which are associated with the output pads. Because we know that our loads are very much located at the outputs, and these large capacitive loads it cannot drive, which mainly with respect to the output pads and long interconnect lines. Long interconnect lines means we are talking about the interconnection lines between the input model and the output model, or between the input part of the device and also output part of the device. So these are the major disadvantages of the CMOS.